Hello my friends and welcome back for my weekly whiskey review. For those of you who are here for the first time, my name is Dan and this YouTube channel is about whiskey, mainly Scotch whiskey, but also bourbon or American whiskey, English whiskey or whiskey from around the world. What do I have for you today? It is GlenAllachie 10 years old, cask strength batch number 5. If you want to watch the review of the previous batch number 4, I will leave a link over here. At the time of this review, end of March 2021, this edition was newly released. I have pre-ordered this well in advance, and today I have the pleasure to be among the first to review it. In fact, I have already tried it. As you can see, the bottle is open and the notes have been taken. 700 ml bottle. Yeah. In a green box. There you are. In the same style as the previous 4 editions. On the label or on the box, as I mentioned in the GlenAllachie's 15 years old review, we don't have a lot of information from this company, which I don't particularly like it. It is a single malt Scotch whisky from the Speyside region of Scotland, bottled at cask strength of 55.9% ABV, so quite strong stuff. It is not quite as strong as batch number 4, which was bottled at 56.1% ABV, and which I had here in the English review number 22, episode 87. It is bottled at natural color and non-chill filtered, being aged for at least 10 years in a combination of Oloroso sherry casks, Pedro Jimenez casks, as well as a small number of virgin American oak barrels and European oak casks that previously contained Rioja wine, a Spanish red wine. These Rioja casks make the difference between batch number 4 and batch number 5. Without insisting too much, I will tell you in a few words what is with these Rioja casks. Well, Rioja is a region in Spain where wine is produced. Red, rosé and white wine, the red wines being the most famous of all. A region divided into 3 areas: Rioja Alta, Rioja Alavesa and Rioja Baja. And the wine styles are determined by the way they were matured, the type of casks and the time spent in casks. Here we find the traditional style, the modern classic style and the modern style. These wines are generally fruity, light and fragrant, regulated by rules and laws that I will not explain in here, especially since the proportion of today's GlenAllachie whiskey that is aged in Rioja cask is not overwhelming. On the contrary, I talked about the distillery in previous reviews, so I'll move on to the whiskey. I have 2 glasses here, one neat without water and the second one with some water added, a few milliliters added to compare the whiskey. As visual presentation, there is a reddish brown color in the glass, nice clear whiskey, oily, with some legs that do not rush when dripping on the inside walls of the glass. On the nose, very good deep sherry, surprisingly non-alcoholic, without stinging me considering those 55.9% ABV. Sweet, notes of black grapes and raisins, espresso coffee, nuts, especially almonds, dark chocolate and brown sugar, plus something like very well ripe blackberries. Overall, a very good smell, mouth-watering on the palate. So friendly. It never leaves the impression of alcohol, and I think the percentage of alcohol is exactly where it's supposed to be, so you don't need to add water to enjoy it. That bitter dark chocolate from the smell is still present in the taste, rich with notes of nuts and almonds as well, raisins, orange peel, not too oily or creamy, but it covers the palate very well. Clear sherry and PX character, very little oak, very little spicy with cinnamon only towards the end, a medium to long finish with a wonderful bitter sensation. Once again, without any trace of alcohol burn. Now, in the second glass, where I added a little water, where you can see the scotch mist, which happens when the whiskey is non-chill filtered and the ABV is usually lowered below 46%. Okay, on the nose. And now, what is interesting in my opinion is that if the previous batch number 4, was helped by the water to open up, the added water in this GlenAllachie 10 years old cask strength batch number 5 does not improve the whiskey. It does not change the smell a lot, but it covers it up a bit. It makes the flavors more difficult to be discovered. It waters them down, and when I taste it, again, a very good taste with sherry, dark chocolate, with some extra sweetness and some oakiness on top of everything else. But again, the water weakens the character. The whiskey hasn't got the same power, and the finish is shorter with extra bitterness. With no added water, I like it more than the previous edition, batch number 4, which was marked 8.9 out of 10. And that's why I will give it a 9 out of 10. I couldn't say if those Rioja casks used to create this limited edition made a difference, but it's clearly more friendly, deeper and less aggressive than batch number 4, with many flavors to discover and a very good symmetry between smell and taste. As a price, the 700 ml bottle will cost around £55, a very good value for money. Well, this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and touch the bell because there are other interesting editions here to come. Like, share with your friends, and I shall see you next time. Slanjeva.